Hi, this is Christelle Martinette, and I'm here. This is just a short video as an introduction to my new style, my new podcast. This is an introduction to my October readings, because many of you were of two minds asking me, well, we like to see the video because we like to see the cards. And those of you who wrote in saying that the podcast, you preferred the podcast, said, well, it really makes me listen more carefully. And I have to say, I too am of two minds, because I do like to show the cards. I really do. But I can't deny that I really have a strong sense of connection when I turn off the video and when I use my voice and just listen. So in this intro, well, first of all, let me show you this. I'm doing this because a colleague of mine, well, a friend of mine said, oh, that warlock, that marionette, it just is the creepiest thing, but it's harmless. It's a true marionette. And I just wanted to show it to you so you don't get freaked out by it. This was, it's a handmade marionette, and I got this at the airport. You know how you're waiting on to board, and right next into the corner there was a shop that had all handmade marionettes, and it was so cute. Look at that hat. Look at that hat. So cute, so cute. And so, I just brought it here to make you see with me, so just relax. Now, what I'm going to do in this video is that I'm going to show you the deck of cards that I'll be using. So when I call on you and ask you to, even though I do them in a pre-recorded way, I'm going to channel and listen to the energies that I get from each individual sign. So let me first tell you that I'll be using the runes. I'll be starting with the runes casting. And I'll be using these tiger eyes runes because you can see them. The etching is fairly clear, and for me to see, when I usually read, it's usually dark, and so I like to be able to see them. And I'll be using those first. You'll hear them in the podcast. Then I have three different decks to use. The first is the Voodoo Tarot deck that I've used before. You've known that. This is the 14th Major Arcana, we can call that. Thibonage, the 20th Major Arcana, the Ancestors, just to give you a few. 0, the World Egg, and so on. Then we have a Santeria 2 card, Olofi, just to give you a few of the cards, just to give you an idea, but you know these more than the other two decks. And the next deck is the Tarot of Muja, de la Muja, who is an artist. And just to give you an idea of what they look like, this is the 11th card. What could that be? Justice. You can see that maybe the 11th Major Arcana, that's Justice. This is who do we have here? The Emperor. Oops, the Emperor. Here we have the Hermit. Lovely cards, lovely cards. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Let me put these away and show you another deck, which is the Tarot of Sexual Magic. And I've used this twice, 2 other times. This is the 9 of Cups. This is the version of the 9 of Cups. Whoa, the foot of my marionette has fallen. This is the High Priestess. High Priestess. This is the Magician. Let me see if I could get it better. Oh, the closer, the farther away I get it from the light, there it is, the better it is. And this is our Knight of Swords. Get a load of that, our Knight of Swords. There you are. Okay, so, but another reason why I wanted to give an introduction is that I wanted to thank a colleague, a fellow reader, for having sent me a person to work with. Thank you, Lou, Louisiana Lou. Why am I thanking her? The main reason is that it gave me the opportunity to fine-tune what I was doing. It was a particular case, and it made me able to speak about it and to give you, my experience with this person and to tell you how I work. So I thought it would clarify a lot of things. So in short, the person was looking for initially a black witch or a warlock, someone who could fight fire with fire in terms of black magic. Now, well, this is an expression in English, fight fire with fire, get the same intensity, because he felt that he was an object of black magic. Now, the person was looking for that, but then he came to me and I asked him to tell me what the story was about. And I was taking notes, and he told me that for decades he has been targeted with black magic. And I wanted, in some way, I invited him for a consultation, okay, to understand. And he prefaced the introduction of this whole story with a series of admonishments, of warnings, telling me that he had been to many other people before me, and none of them wanted to work with him because each one individually had suffered some kind of flash of negative energy towards them directly. One was threatened, her life was threatened, another fell ill with a serious illness for an extremely long time. And I let him talk. Like I said, I took notes, I asked my questions, and then I explained to him how I worked. Now, what I will explain to you is my form of white magic. Okay, we could call it white magic, but I just want to say that we can change the words around. It's all the same, just like any field, physics, linguistics. People have, and groups of people that work together have different ways of calling things, and in different countries they call the same phenomenon with another lexical item, all right? So, but what I want to say is that this is a form of white magic. It's a service that I provide and that I've listed on my website. First and foremost, I told him my diagnosis, that what he was experiencing was only one of many, far many other more serious blocks and restrictions that could be ailing him. And I started asking him a number of questions, but then I hit him with the fundamental question. What is your intention? What do you want to achieve by coming to me? And what he said was this: I want two things. One, I want to unmask the largest pedophile ring in the Northern Hemisphere. And two, I want to be able to receive adequate medical care, because in his country, in Ireland, he was negated that for several different reasons. Okay, I won't go into the political side to it now. And with that, having heard that, with those objectives, it put me in a position of being able to then do my magic, eliminating any negative influences on him, stopping him from achieving those goals. How? I was able to cut bonds, contracts, curses, and remove curses and vows, spells, anything, you name it, that were affecting him directly. The list is endless. Affecting him directly, and as a consequence, it would block the negative energy affecting him, and it would not target but contain those people, he listed names, first and last names, that were manipulating him throughout the decades. These people represent members of the clergy, solicitors, barristers, and politicians in that country. Now, one important thing is that there was no fear. I never, ever operate with fear. If I have to be fearful, I just say no. It's not a moment when I can work. The process was reversed, is reversed, because their initial energetic dealings and workings, or if we want to call it magic, were halted But we had, of course, this person who was in a wheelchair, who was dying, and ultimately was powerless, disempowered completely. And one thing then leads to another, and you get the press, you get someone to help you out, physicians to, okay, so it's a series of things that then change. Now, this is just to give you an idea of what how I work. Fundamental is not, and this is a suggestion for all other readers, all other energy workers, light workers, never work if you are fearful. And there's something that when someone comes to me, and I have seen a lot of different cases, okay? When I decide if I can work with you, and this is determined by a series of parameters linked to the nature of your soul, I never have to decide if I'm conditioned by fear or any other, or because it will create repercussions. So thank you for giving me this opportunity to say that. And thanks again, Lou. I appreciate that. Now off to the readings. Bye-bye. Hi, Leo. This is Christelle Martinette, and I'm here with a reading, and it's a video. I know I spent so much time saying that I wanted to do the audio, but what happened was that my trusty audio program crashed today because I have a new platform on my Mac with Sierra, and it doesn't work. So I was able to get a few of the readings out, and after working with technicians, they told me it would be a number of days before I could use it again. So here I am. Let's see if this will work for us. Of course it will. Of course it will. Let's see what the runes casting tells us for you, Leo. Okay. 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 You know, there's a theme that has been coming up in one way or another in many of the readings, whereby the runes message was, even though you cannot see it now, or you can't even conceive of what could possibly happen in the future, you actually need to go there, you actually need to risk that, you actually need to have a leap of faith concerning whatever it is that's troubling you, the issue, the important issue at hand. And what I'm seeing here is a lovely base. There are 2 straight conversations and 3 side conversations here. And the basic conversation, the basis is that you're very, very lucky, Leo. You're one lucky sign this month of October, because you are every step of your way, whether you think of it in that way or not, you're going to be receiving a lot from other people who you enter into contact with on your journey, because it is, you come out as being very truthful this month, very honest, very down to earth, very in depth, not superficial, and you're not looking for the limelight this time in October. You're looking for honest to goodness relationships, even if it's just going to get a candy bar, or an ice cream cone, or a cup of coffee, but you really want to make contact with that waitress, or you want to smile with somebody, to somebody on the street, to make contact. This is, and it's very truthful. I mean, your eyes will speak this month of October, Leo, and this occurrence, this dynamics, this trend for you is going to follow you in the months to come, until you will be able then to finally say to yourself, that was what I didn't understand. That was what I couldn't see. That's what I didn't understand at every turn of the way. But you will get there. It's going to take some time for you, but you will get there, and you'll get there and on your own 2 feet, and that's going to be for you the most important thing, because you're going there, and it's you're putting yourself on the line. You have the feeling that every time you come into contact, on one hand you need it. It's like bread and butter, your bread and butter, daily bread and butter, your life bread. You need to be in contact with people. On the other, you don't want to bother with that. You have to, I don't want to bother with it. But they're conflicting ideas. But you do, and you go there, and there is that conflictual nature as well, because you are you. You don't always like to go everywhere and talk to everyone, after all, Leo, you know. But you tend to do that this month of October, and you tend to smell the flowers even where there are no flowers. You know, you go there and put your nose into things that may not even concern you, but you're just curious. You're overly curious this month. And what I see is that, again, I can't stress enough that you need to do what you're doing in the month of October, even though you don't know why you're doing it, because you will in due time, Yara, be answered that, and you'll understand why that is going to be. Now I want you to concentrate on the 3 decks, the Sexual Magic, the Voodoo Tarot, and the Muja Tarot. I get the Sexual Magic and the Voodoo. Let's start with the Sexual Magic. Okay, these are lovely cards, by the way. All right, now, what I'm seeing, there are a lot of people here, a lot of court cards. There's a lot of people here, and there is a high tension concerning your relationships, plural, in the plural, be they romantic or business relationships, where there tends to be a third party involved. Okay, I won't deny that. There tends to be a third party involved. And half of you thinks that it may be high time you got up and just threw that relationship on a romantic level in the garbage, in the trash. But there's also part of you that wants to strengthen up, be ready, and give it all, your all, so that you can take from the relationship what you want. And that is another theme. And then, unfortunately, Leo, my screen went off, and I didn't know what I came up to, but I'll have to repeat myself. There were 3 categories of Leos. I saw a third party which comes into both business relationships, other kind of relationships, and romantic relationships. And there are those Leos of you who want to just take that romantic relationship and throw it away because you don't want to have anything to do with it, because you think it's not worth anything because of the third party involved. But there are those of you, however, who want to stay there no matter what, because you want to fight it out and you want to reclaim what's yours, even in a business sense, not only relationships. But then there are the categories, or the third categories of you Leos. This is the 2 of Cups. No matter what you decide, you are faithful to that relationship, to that business partnership. You're very strong, and you're very, very enamored. You know, you are involved. You spent a lot of energy there. But there is this King of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles is another side to you that says, wait a moment, hold on, let me ride this wave. But let me keep vigil so that I can see what's going on. Now, there's also here, the Voodoo Tarot here are telling me that that whatever category of Leos you are part of, you need a certain amount of nurturing to go on. If you decide to leave this relationship or cut the ties with a partnership, even in business or whatever, do so, but do it well. Cover your bases, read all the laws, so you don't get the short end of the stick. That's one message the Voodoo Tarot are giving you. Another message is that if you're guided, if you're one of those Leos in the category where you want to ride into the sunset with this relationship no matter what, take care of yourself first. The message here is watch your back, but watch your purse strings and watch yourself, because you need to be strong no matter what. I mean, if you're weak, you can't help anyone. And if you're weak, you won't be able to accept the difficulties that are coming your way. Take care of number one first. That's you. This is the big teaching of the Voodoo Tarot. Another message that the Voodoo Tarot are giving me here is that if you're in the category that you want to wait it out, and you don't want to upset the current equilibrium, know that it may keep you in that position for a long time, longer than you want to be in. So that may condition you. You might want to think about that. Also, there's a Petro Hungan here, a court card as well. And what it's telling you with respect to the idea of leaving the partnership, for those of you who are in that category, it is fine. Once you take that decision, it's saying, ride it through, do it. Don't have any misgivings at all, because what is coming up ahead will be far greater, far better. You're going to be dancing on the stars. So if you have taken that decision, go through with it. Don't worry. And also, the voodoo cards are telling you that it's time that you take one look back. Think about your historical dealings. How have you reacted in other relationships, business or else otherwise? How has it developed? If you did X, what was the consequence? If you did B, what happened? If you did N, what happened? And remember that, because it's going to serve you well in the relationships department, be they business or romantic relationships. They're mirroring each other, the cards. And what interesting, the cross sections of these two decks are telling us that it doesn't really matter, Leo, which decision you take, but you have to do it with full cognition of the consequences and your role. Take responsibility for your own role in the matter. That's one. And also, a big teaching is that never lose yourself in the relationship. Never blend into. You are two people, partner, business, emotional, walking side by side. Do not merge. You will do a disservice to each other. And also, the last message I can glean from these cards is that your give and take at a level of romance or on a level of partnerships in business needs to be revisited before you take any other decision. Now let me take the Vera Sibilla cards and see what they have to add. Let's see what they have to add here. I'm going over the Five of Wands here. Third party involved. Yes, it is involving a business. There is a partner that is not, that is giving you trouble, some difficulty. And it has to do with a contractual agreement. It has to do with a partnership, what it means to you, is it serving you or not. This month of October is going to serve you well in understanding what you can do with that business partnership, what you can do with the other person on the job. And interestingly, this specific third party, let's say, the person, the odd man out, the person who's giving you some difficulties, is going to be able to help you in the long run. You have to see it that way. Let's see now. I'm going to take a look at the Hunsis card, Radha. It's a court card as well. Allegrezza al cuore, happiness in the heart, speranza, hope, and fortuna. Yes, This is telling me that no matter, this is about those who want to stay in the same situation. You would do well, and you can hope for the best. Know that we still have to remember that it's a leap of faith. Remember the rune's message that even though you cannot see, you have to take a leap of faith. Fortune is yours. I'm going now to the Radha Hungang, the other court card in the Voodoo Tarot. And we have still this third party coming up, and there are those of you who will be in a difficult situation concerning a third party in a relationship. There's no doubt about it. It keeps coming up. It's a constant. And it's something that you keep putting aside, that you don't want to address, something that you don't want to deal with. And you're going to have to deal with that, this is telling you. Let me take a few cards here on this Knight of Wands. Sospiri sighing, vecchia signora who speaks to change, and omaggio di preziosi, the gifts, precious gifts. I see here definitely a move, a very rapid move. Okay, this sighing with covering the, illuminating this Knight of Wands is saying that that ship is coming in right now. It's coming in and it's bringing a load of change, and it's bringing a lot of things to you. Whatever decision you decide to make, whatever decision you opt for, there is, with that leap of faith, just do it. Go for it, because, again, I'm saying success is yours. I'm going to the Pertro Hungang, another fire sign court card here. All right, now, this is lightness of being Giudizia, Casa, Home, and Ammalato. There's trouble in the city, there's trouble in the city. You need to rise above it. You need to rise above the difficulties that you have, either in the home, your metaphorical home, your partnership, or your business partnership. You have to rise above that. It's going to make you sick, literally, it's saying. But this is a card of success. This is a card of success. And it's right next to the rune's message that say you need to take a leap of faith. I hope this was of help, Leo, for the month of October. Do come and follow me on Twitter. My name was there, because if you follow me, there's a program that will notify you. It's called Periscope. Every time I go online, and I do that I go live, and I do that at least once a day, and I don't hang around if there's no, I come several times, and when I see there are people there, I interact with them. And you'll be notified, and you can chat, because there's a little chat, and you can ask questions directly, and I can answer you literally, because you'll see me, I'll be filming, and then we can talk. Don't talk, you write and I speak. But don't write to me, because I won't be able to answer you. I just can't answer everybody who's writing to me. I'm sorry. Namaste, Leo friends, till we read together again. Bye-bye.